Hello everyone, in the last video we looked at how to create a shader that combines two materials into one material using a mask map. This time we are gonna add a tiling and an offset to the individual materials of this combined material. Therefore, we create vector 2 properties, offset 1 and scaling 1 for the first material, and offset 2 and scaling 2 for the second material, I'll call them, but you can call them whatever you want. I put them in the right order so that offset 1 and scaling 1 are right below the first material. Now we need to add a tiling and offset node where we are going to apply the offset and scaling. We won't apply them here. We need to put them below to our textures of our materials. Plug them just into the UV input and now put our properties in the tiling and offset. I called the tiling scaling, but this doesn't matter. Default the scaling to x1 and y1 because scaling or a tiling of 0 won't do well because the textures are gonna be basically no textures and will only apply one of the materials. As we currently see nothing happen. That's because we made the tiling and offset for the albedo, but not for the normal map. And in the example, I only used the normal map and didn't apply an albedo texture. But we can simply select our full tiling and offset node and duplicate it using Ctrl D and plug those also into the sample texture of the normal. Now we can see something has changed, and if we now change the offset, we can scroll through the texture, and if we change the tiling, the size of our texture changes. For some odd reason, Unity also adds Z and W, but we can totally ignore it. It won't change anything and it's simply there. Now what's left to do is to also add a tiling and offset for our mask. It's not really necessary, you won't need it in most cases, but for the sake of showing how to, I'll add also a mask offset and mask tiling. The procedure is the same. We add the tiling and offset node, plug it into the UV of our mask texture and add our properties. Now everything turned black and gray again. That's because it's defaulted to 0. That's the problem with the scaling, but you can change it to 1. Here it's still 0, and that makes the material only have one of the two combined materials. So if we set it to 1 or something else above 0, you will see it changes. You can scroll the mask texture, you can change the size of it, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.